Okay, so have you ever, gotten stuck writing? Like, you've got a good idea, but then boom, nothing. Writer's block. The worst. Well, now imagine if, AI could help. Not actually write for you, but be like a brainstorming buddy. That's kind of what we're looking at today with this book, The AI Pen. It's by Marc Liron, and it's all about AI and, being creative. And we've got our AI expert here to help us break it all down. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
So this isn't some super techie book, right? Our listeners don't need to be programmers to get into this.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It's really for anyone who's curious about how AI is going to change things, like how we create stuff, how we write. Liron's argument is basically that these AI tools are really powerful, but whether they're actually good or bad for creativity depends. Depends on us.
Yeah.
How we use them.
Makes sense. Like any tool, I guess. So what are some of the big ideas in the AI pen? What's Lauren looking at here?
Well, one of the core themes is this idea of AI being like a cognitive kaleidoscope.
Okay, cognitive kaleidoscope. What's that mean for someone who's actually using these AI writing tools?
So think of it this way. You're a writer. You're using these tools.
Yeah.
And suddenly you've got all these possibilities. Different ways to write different words, even plot twists. Stuff you might never have thought of on your own.
So instead of staring at a blank page, you're drowning in ideas.
Exactly. AI can handle tons of text to data write. Way more than we can. So it can give you these suggestions that really push you creatively.
That's kind of cool, but I can also see how it could be a lot, too much. And this is where Liron talks about creative complacency, right? If we're always relying on AI, are we going to get lazy?
It's a good question. Why bother thinking of a good metaphor yourself when the AI can just give you 20? But Liron's point is that AI is at its best when it's like a partner, not just doing all the work for you.
So it's all about finding that balance. Using AI, but not losing our own creativity in the process.
Exactly. It's like when digital art first came out, people thought it would kill traditional painting. But it didn't. We got new styles, new techniques, tools change, but creativity, it's still essential.
It's about figuring out how to use the tech to make our own creativity better, not replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, AI could be a really good research assistant. If you're writing a historical novel, instead of spending weeks in the library, you just ask the AI to find stuff for you.
Right. And Liron talks about how that can be really good, it saves writers a ton of time.
But isn't there also something to be said for actually doing the research? What about finding weird stuff by chance?
Yeah, he talks about that too. You're looking through a real book.
And you find something totally random that sparks a new idea. You might miss that with AI.
Right. It's the difference between, taking a tour and just wandering around.
Exactly. So you got to do both. Use AI, but also give yourself time to just think.
And what about editing? AI can do that now too.
Oh, yeah. Way better than just spell check.
Right. It can find grammar mistakes, suggest different words, even rewrite sentences to make them better.
It's like having an editor right there with you, 24/7. But does that mean we're not really editing anymore?
That's an interesting question. Liron says AI can be super helpful, but we shouldn't just rely on it completely.
It's good at catching typos, but you still need your own judgment.
Exactly. It's not just about being correct. It's about your style, your voice as a writer.
So we should use AI to get better at editing, not just to do it for us.
Right. And that actually leads into another big thing from the book, this whole question of authorship.
Oh, yeah. If AI is helping to write, who's really the author?
Exactly. And Liron says there's no easy answer.
Yeah. I don't know how you'd even decide that.
It's something writers, lawyers, tech people are all trying to figure out.
It's a whole new world.
It's only going to get more complicated as AI gets better.
It's almost we need a whole new set of rules for figuring out who wrote what.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
So before we go totally off the rails here, let's bring it back to our listeners for a sec. What are the main things they should be thinking about, with AI writing and all?
I think the biggest thing is just realizing that AI is here to stay. This isn't just some fad. It's going to change how we write, whether we like it or not.
And we've talked about some of the challenges, right? Are we going to get too reliant on it?
Exactly. And then there's the whole thing about who actually owns the writing. It's complicated.
Super complicated.
But I think the most important thing for writers to remember is that they're still in control. AI is a tool. It's up to us to use it the right way.
So we get to decide how to use it, when to use it.
Exactly.
And we talked about finding that balance. AI can help with research editing.
Right.
But you still need your own creativity.
Yeah. It's like having an assistant. They can take care of the boring stuff, but you're still the boss.
And as AI gets better and better,
It's going to be even more important to remember that.
To remember what makes writing good.
Like being clear, being original.
Right. Those are the things that really matter.
And those are the things that AI can't do on its own.
So AI might be able to write like a human, but it's not human.
Exactly.
There's still something special about what we do as writers.
For sure.
So to everyone listening, if you're excited about AI and writing, and maybe a little freaked out too, you're not alone.
It's a weird new world, but it's a world worth exploring.
And this book, The AI Pen, it's a really good place to start.
Definitely.
So yeah, keep thinking about these things. Don't be afraid to ask tough questions.
And most importantly,
keep writing.
Exactly.